Welcome to Inspired Edinburgh, the home of powerful conversations. I'm Elliot Reeves, and my guest today is James English. James is a podcaster, documentary maker, comedian, model, and former star of Glasgow-based reality TV show Glow. Your Anything Goes podcast features the hard-hitting real-life stories of sportspeople, comedians, actors, criminals, porn stars, and politicians as you explore topics from murder, depression and suicide to sex, love and comedy. In a short space of time, your show has been viewed and listened to across social media more than 500,000 times. Your latest documentary sees you sleep on the streets in your hometown of Glasgow for 7 days and nights, bringing to light the desperation and tragedy of being homeless at Christmas, and shows the plight and passion of people from both sides of the problem. James, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on, brother.
It's an absolute pleasure. Mm-hmm. It must feel quite unique for you to be on that side of things rather than in the driver's seat, right?
It feels weird, but it feels good also. I can just kick back and relax, and I've not got the pressures asking the questions.
Things.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, obviously doing this yourself, you'll know the script. Mm-hmm. If we can start, I mean, really kind of going back to your early life, you know, growing up, and I suppose what that kind of overall experience was like for you.
Yeah, I grew up in a place called Possilpark in Glasgow, which is, he says earlier, it's one of the deprived areas in the United Kingdom. It's a rough place, so you need to grow up fast there. You're surrounded by drink, drugs, violence. But I always had good parents, always kept me on the straight and narrow. They were good people, let's say, they weren't alcoholics or addicted to drink, drugs. But for me, the 5 people you surround yourself was the 5 people you become. So I was surrounded with drink, drugs and violence. So it became normal for me. It became a normal life. I grew up in a place called Stonyhurst Street, which is, listen, there's great people there. Mm-hmm. They're fucking nuts, but they're good people. They didn't know, they're none the wiser to outskirts of what's happening outside of that world. So everyday survival mode. You don't get much food. It's scrimping, skating, balls all the time. But we did what we could. And I was lucky enough to be a good football player at the ages of 9 and 10. Get picked up with Hibs. We kind of moved from, there's a place called Stonyhurst Street, but 100 yards away is a place called Clarence Street, which is away because the place we stayed was like tenement buildings. It was like 6 in a block, 6 houses, but it was full circle of madness and mayhem. You're talking about stolen cars, people sleeping on their clothes. It was wild, it was crazy, but we moved to a place called Clarence Street. And I was lucky enough to get into my football career then. So that was good. I had a bit of a gift at the football, but signed for Hibs, and then I thought I was a jacky lad. Thought I knew everything, knew fuck all. Signed for Hibs, came through to Edinburgh, telling all the girls I played for the first team. I was only playing under 16s, under 18s, but I liked the night lifestyle. And then I started drinking, and then for ages of 16, 17, I started getting into the drugs, gambling, womanising, and then the life kind of spiralled out of control from there. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that way of life is typical for people that, you know, like footballers who are making wages and they're looking for things to kind of spend it on?
Yeah.
Is that a cultural thing?
Yeah, well, I was going to the bookies with some of the players at 16. But I'd been gambling, thinking about it, I'd been gambling for about 5 years old. Used to play fruit machines with my gran.
Really?
They didn't really realise the extent. My dad used to take us to a place called Shawfield, which was a dog track. He used to put like 50 pence bets on for me, but not realising the effect it would have when you get older, because then it becomes an addiction. So for me, all those addictions that I had, I was craving that dopamine. So when you put a bet on, it releases dopamine in your brain, which is equivalent to heroin. So if your life doesn't feel that good, if you place a bet, then you're high, you're buzzing. Once that bet goes, your life feels shit. You don't feel important anymore, so you're constantly craving that bet, or even if it was the drink or the cocaine, you're craving that dopamine because it puts you in a high and your life feels good. But looking back, it was all the insecurities, it was all the misery I was going through, that stuff was escapism. So yeah, the gambling became a major issue. That was one of my major problems, was the gambling.
Yeah.
At that age, from, like I say, the football, because it's socially acceptable. You think it's okay, but looking back, it wasn't.
So you're right. I mean, just to pick up on, I wrote down a quote: Possilpark, named in a study as the most deprived area in the United Kingdom since 1971. Like, I had no idea like the extent of that. I mean, to try and paint a picture for people that are maybe watching or listening. I mean, what is it like?
Yeah, it was stolen cars, houses getting set on fire, a lot of gang fights. Yeah. Just survival mode. It was wild. It was crazy. But when you grew up in that life, it seemed normal. It seemed fine.
Normalised it,
Thinking back now, so many people, so many deaths I've seen. So many people getting murdered, suicide, drug overdose, and like I say, all these addictions are problems. They can come down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
They can be in your DNA. Not necessarily do these things, you're a bad person. If you're taking drink or drugs, or if you're gambling, or if you've got anger issues, that's a defence mechanism. Even the anger, all my friends who, if I'm honest, they're crazy, but they're good people. What happens is, because they're protecting their heart, people are fragile.
Yeah.
So if I become loud, if I'm scary, and if I create fear on everybody, then they can't hurt me. So it's a defence mechanism for people to act aggressive because they are scared of getting hurted themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's some of my, I've spoken to my friend, and he says he was scared of everything but fear of nothing, which makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So it's a defence mechanism for people to back off, keep away from me. I'll become the angriest man in the world because I'm scared of getting hurted myself. But like I say, it's a great place, and I've got to thank it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got to thank everything I've done, because like I say, it's led us to who I am today.
But how do you maintain a level of sanity when you're around that level, that many stressors?
It's hard. It's until you get out that circle. It's until you get out that small box. We're all living in a small box, and we all like comfort. So if you're drinking, you surround yourself with drinkers. If you're taking drugs, you surround yourself with taking drugs. If you're gambling, you surround yourself with gamblers, because if you do that, life doesn't seem as bad, because you think everybody does it. But when you come out and go, shit, man, I've got all these problems. It's a lonely journey to change. But like I say, people can change, and people can create the life that they want, which is a good thing also.
Yeah. You've clearly been into the sort of personal development type stuff. We'll come back to that a little bit later on. I'll be interested to hear that your sort of journey into that. I mean, tell me a bit about your kind of career. What were your aspirations when you started out, and kind of where did it kind of take you?
Well, I had the football. The football was good. I played for Hibs, but then it went for Hibs. I think it was Partick Thistle, Queen's Park, and then it went Albion Rovers, and then it went junior. So it just nosedived because my fitness wasn't there, the dedication. The ability was there, the dedication wasn't there. Like I say, I like to women, I like to drink because it felt good for me, it felt normal, realising I'll always make it, always had that mentality, I'll make it anyway. But the boys who maybe not had the ability of me went right by me because the dedication, the fitness levels, my fitness levels nosedive, while theirs just kept rising and rising. So by the time I 21, left the football, and then for about 10 years, man, my life was a party. My life was a blur.
So when did that start?
21, started getting serious out of the cocaine. Started the Charlie at the weekend, and then the sociable, the drink, the drugs. Was a Friday, Saturday, but then it came Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then my dad died, he got diagnosed. I got to jail actually. I was in prison at 23. I got 6 months in Berlin.
What for?
For driving offences.
Okay.
Caught 3 times, driving while disqualified.
Right.
I thought, like I say, it's nothing charged. My lawyer says, look, you'll be fine. I'll see you at lunchtime. I was on the bus out of Berlin at 23. Shiting myself, scared. Like I say, playing the big man card, and as if I never had a care in the world, but you're terrified because you're thinking, shit man, I'm going to get pumped in here, because I was a good looking guy. I was a good looking guy, do you know what I mean? I had the gift of the gab, and I'm thinking, I've watched all these films for years, but as soon as I went in there, it's probably the worst thing that could happen, because as soon as I was in there, everybody from Possil was there.
Okay.
So I knew the majority of the people in there. I was a party boy around Glasgow, so I knew the majority of people. So that felt at home. It felt so weird. It just felt like a big boot camp. We had football every day. We had the gym. But while I was in the jail, my dad got diagnosed with leukemia. So I came out, my head was up my arse, my best pal hung himself, and then I had 2 girls pregnant at the same time. So this was at 23. I didn't know how to deal with those pains and struggles. So for me, it was the drink and the drugs was escapism for me, because when people seen me at the weekend, I was at life and soul at the party. I used to pick people's spirits up, not realising I was giving everybody else my energy, that my energy was low. So during the week, it then became Valium, it then became weed to balance it out. So I was so high at the weekend, so low. I used to smoke and take Valium, and it used to kind of balance me out again to kind of get through those darker days.
Mm-hmm.
I had too much pride to ask for help. Always thought, I never thought I needed help. Always thought I'm not that bad, but like I said, it was a very dark place for me for 10 years, 9-10 years.
Jesus.
Mm.
And how bad did things get? When did you hit, excuse me, when did you hit sort of rock bottom?
When I turned 30,
Mm-hmm.
it was a turning point for me. That's when I realised I've got more to give here. I'm not getting any younger. I've got 2 kids, and the last thing I want them to look up as their dad has been a waster. Do you know what I mean? Somebody that they don't respect. So for me, I changed. I wrote it down. Sat in my sister's room. Drink, drugs. I was never an alcoholic, but the drink for me led to the coke.
Yeah.
And then it led to the lying, the cheating, and then when you're so low, it was like that many problems, gambling as well. So when I turned 30, I wrote it down. I remember it as clear as day in my sister's room, in our house. Drink, drugs, gambling, even the womanising, because everything I was doing, I was searching to fulfil a void in me.
Yeah.
To fulfil a loneliness and an emptiness that I've had for so long. And then once you accept that this isn't the thing to do, because every time I was doing that I was becoming more disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote it all down, and 3-4 months I became clean, went cold turkey on everything. Like I say, it was never heroin or crack, or it was cocaine, but like I say, Valium and weed. My central nervous system was fucked. And because I've been telling that many lies for years through the gambling addiction, stealing, lying, doing bad things to create the money to get that fix, I didn't know who I was so lost. So I changed and wrote it all down. After 3-4 months, I started getting clarity. I had a lot of bad dreams, a lot of nightmares, my conscience, all the stuff I'd done in the past, treating people like shit and lying. But I changed, and after the 4 months, I started getting clarity. I started doing running. I started really getting into the mindset and figuring out who I was again. And it was a lonely journey. But I done the changes. I made the sacrifices, and I've been blessed to make those changes, man. I done a Reiki course. I became a Reiki master, which is like healing energy. And the woman said it was a spiritual awakening I had.
Okay.
She says I was blessed because for me, if you'd knew me then to now, man, it's black and white.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think people have this idea that a spiritual awakening is just suddenly they just feel divine and it's amazing, but it can be scary as well.
Yeah, it's painful.
Taking that path because it's very lonely.
Yeah, it's a lonely journey. The last 3-4 years it's a lonely journey. People don't understand it. When I was changing at the start, I felt like fucking Jesus. I was preaching to everybody, this is the way to go, this is amazing, don't drink, don't do this. People were like, shut up, yes, crackpot. I felt amazing, and I just wanted the people to feel the same as well. But what I was doing with preaching was pushing everybody away. I was pushing everybody away, and they were going, he's becoming a pain in the ass. But I just wanted the people to feel the way I was feeling, because I felt amazing. It made me realise all that shit I was doing was wrong, and we don't need to accept it, because all my friends, they accept that life, that it's okay to do that at the weekend, but you're hiding from something. You're hiding from something. If it's not natural, you're taking away from whatever it is you're going through. For me, I faced it head on, so now for me, it's to keep my light shining bright. If I keep my light shining bright, then it guides everybody else out of the darkness, because people now ask me questions. How did you change? Why did you change? And when I have changed, like I say, actions speak louder than words. My results speak for themselves, because at the time I felt as if I had to show everybody that I changed. Now I just act, I do, and then people go, he has changed. And then that's when I get the messages, how did you change? And then I can guide them where to go for help, instead of the preaching kind of side of it. But I just felt as if I had to tell everybody I've changed, I became a better person. Listen, I ain't a monk or a saint. I still fuck up and I still probably do things I go, I shouldn't do that. But I'm aware. I feel as if I'm 2 steps ahead of everybody else. I feel as if I'm on this path and I'm untouchable and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Where does that confidence come from?
Being clean and sober.
Yeah.
Being clean and sober. Educating myself. Knowledge is power. So I don't read books, I listen to audio books. My attention span isn't the greatest. If I read a page, I go, what the fuck did I read there? But I can still work on that where I should be getting used to it. But I prefer the audio book, and I get the earphones in and I listen. I seem to pick up more. And I go, oh, that makes sense. But not necessarily my journey's right for everybody else. Yeah. People might look and go, he's a fucking crackpot, I'm going to stick to the drinking drugs, which is fine. But like I say, I'm talking from experience. I'm not reading from books here. I'm talking from the dark places I've been.
So what would you say to somebody who was was doing the things that you were doing 5-10 years ago.
I just asked them to be honest with herself. Is this going to enhance your career? Is this going to take you to places where you know you can go to? Just ask yourself, should I be surrounding myself with these people? Like I say, you're not a bad person because you do bad shit. It's just certain circumstances condition you into that person to have that life. And it can happen to anybody. I know people that's got multi-millionaires out there that are suicidal, and yet I know people with nothing that are the best people in the world. I put a post up the other week saying, listen, the real wealth of a person isn't with the money they have in the bank or the material possessions they have. The real wealth of a person is how much good they bring into the world. And you can do things for free. Do you know what I mean? And we're so caught up in the world through materialism, through social media, that we forget what's really important. For me personally, it's the gift in life is given, because as soon as you help someone, not only does that person feel good, but it's you automatically feels good. And we forget that.
Yeah. But I think, talking about that, social media has been such whilst it's a double-edged sword, it can be a toxic place, but it's such a great way of sharing information that I feel as though there is kind of a paradigm shift or a kind of awakening to the realization, like you're saying, life's far more than just accumulating possessions and money.
Yeah, I believe there is a shift coming in that social media. I'm aware now, I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to it because I'm craving the attention, and when I get messages, like I said, it releases dopamine, which is equivalent to heroin, so it's like pulling a fruit machine for you. I've got a message here, somebody likes my content, I'm feeling good. And that's okay, but when I'm spending 4 and 5 hours looking at a screen, it becomes a problem. And I'm aware of this problem because when I wake up in the morning, your first hour is your most creative hour in the morning to balance out your day and focus on what your path is and what you've got to get done. But if you're looking at a fake screen and fake people with fake lives, because that's what it is, your life doesn't feel as good, and you start looking at everybody else's life, and then where your focus goes, your energy flows. So now your mind goes wandering instead of actually focusing on your day. So it becomes then a problem. For me, it's a problem just now. I'm utilising it to my advantage, if I'm honest, as well, to promote everything I'm doing, but I'm spending so many lost hours on it when I could really utilising that to take my career even further. So it's a slippery slope with it.
Right. So how do you plan to sort of manage that?
Like I say, I'm aware. The plan is to get up. For me, my blueprint is to get up early, 4:30.
Seriously?
Yeah, 4:30. I seen Mark Wahlberg there 2 days ago, 2:30 he is.
That's great.
Nutcase. But if it works for him, who are we to judge? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My blueprint is 4:30. Get up at 4:30, get my meditation, get my breathing techniques. But I'm lazy. Even though people might think I'm doing all this stuff, I'm still lazy. I know I'm not utilising my hours to my full advantage because it's scary to think we're all going to die, and it's scary to think that what are we doing to be good in the world and to create massive change and massive awareness? Am I just waiting to die? Am I creating enough stuff to leave a legacy? Do you know what I mean? I just feel as if I'm not utilising those 16, 17 hours to be the person I know I can become.
What are your feelings on death?
We're all going to die. I used to be scared of it. Now, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to go, but if I do, I do. You've got to remember, you don't know what it's like before you're born. So it's just going to be the exact same when you do go. As soon as you're born, you start to die, which is the scariest thing, and that should be the only motivation you need in life, is to realise you're going to die. So what are you doing to be the person you want to become? Do you know what I mean? And I think we're caught up in a fake world, man, where people are stuck in 9 to 5s, people are stuck paying the bills, and before you know it, they've created the fear where they're scared to take chances, they're scared to take risks, they can't leave their job because they've got these bills to pay. I can't work in this, but people prefer Monday, Friday, 9 to 5, X Factor on a Saturday night, bottle of wine and a curry. Listen, if you're happy, listen, I'm not here to judge, but the majority I speak to ain't happy, because deep inside your gut, you know you've got more to give life. You know you've got more to be that person you become. We've all got a path. And whether that path is whatever the fuck it is that you do, but does it fulfill you? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel when you put your foot on the floor in the morning, okay, I'm ready to take on a day? But majority of people aren't happy. Do you know what I mean? And you can't be happy 24/7, but you can create the life that you want. You can be the director of that film. You can just be you and do what's right for you. But people are stuck in relationships they don't like, jobs they don't like. Fucking change it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Change it, because the only person can fail is you, and that's what I believe. But it's easy for me to say that because I'm on a good path. But I just know that I changed. I made the changes and the sacrifices, and it can be done.
Yeah. I'm loving this chat.
Yes.
Great stuff. How did Glow come about? Like, what happened for that to come together?
Well, I got a phone call to say it was happening. I got a personal training job, which is one of my first ever proper jobs at the age of 30, 31. Okay. That's when I was doing all my reading, my research, and I was off of drinking the drugs for 17 months. I went to LA. I come back from my auntie's funeral. I was 17 months off it. I decided to have a drink after the 17 months. Okay. And then I just ripped the whole ceiling down. I ended up back partying, gambling after the 17 months because I thought I was strong enough to have a drink, but it turns out I wasn't. So the plan was to go and do motivational speaking. And it turned out I didn't do that. I gave everything up again and kind of went down that slippery slope for a year. But for me, that year was the speed bump that I needed. It didn't last 10, 15 years. It lasted a year because I realised how good I felt. I realised I felt amazing when I was clean. Mm-hmm. So I got back on track. I got a phone while I was drinking again. The phone call came about the reality show. Listen, I rolled the dice with it. I gave it a go. It was a bit cringy. If I wasn't on the show, would have been probably slagging at myself, probably. But you've got to take your hat off to anybody that takes chances.
Yeah, of course.
And it was a good platform for me. I was a fan's favourite, just saying. So it gave me a platform and it built up a fan base for me. Glasgow's a tough city. Mm-hmm. Very tough. So many critics. Mm-hmm. But I believe that so many people are unhappy with themselves, so it's easy to point the fingers. It's a reflection image. People are just deflecting on their missed opportunities or the things that they want to do but they ain't got the balls. Yeah. So for anybody to do anything new or do something, it takes courage and guts. Like I say, I gave it 2 seasons and it worked wonders for me. It built up my platform, it got people to know me because I was well liked on it. It should have probably done better than what it was, but I believe there's a massive market in Glasgow or Edinburgh for a reality show. Mm-hmm. If all these other places can do it, then why can't we? But I left the second season and that was it, basically. But listen, I met a couple of great friends from it and I would never change it. It was a great experience. It learned me in front of the cameras, it learned me my confidence. But I was still going through that dark phase because that's the year I was drinking. So I was in that part of lifestyle. It was low frequency and I thought that was all cool and that was me craving attention, that was me self-seeking. Yeah. I needed that attention and I still need it. I'm still a poser and I'm still love that attention. Do you know what I mean? But it was a great experience and I wouldn't change it, man. I met some great people, but I look back and you kind of fucking cringe as well. Do you know what I mean? But it opened doors for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you didn't do that, you possibly wouldn't be doing what you're currently doing, etc. Exactly. I think you're right. I think there probably is scope for a good reality show, but it would be nice to see one that's not predicated on kind of bullshit values. Yeah. Going out, getting pissed, having fights, womanizing, etc. The typical stuff that you see.
Yeah, but that's what people want to see because that's what the majority of people do. So if they see other people doing it and it doesn't seem as bad, can you imagine sitting there and trying to splurt out positivity and motivation? You don't see that on the TV. You see it in the mainstream media. It's deaths, it's murders, it's rapes, it's suicide, it's wars. Because if they can drill that fear into your mindset, you think the world's a bad place. The world's actually a good place if you want to go and look for it. And if you think it's a bad place, then become the change that you want to become. Do you know what I mean? If you want to see good in the world, be good yourself and it'll have that ripple effect. Do you know what I mean? You can pay it forward, do good, and it will like attracts like. So if I'm doing good, then everything I do is for me. Do you know what I mean? I've said that to you before on the phone. Everything I do is for me, but I'm doing good to help others as well. So it's a win-win for me. Yeah, it's a win-win. I can't lose.
It's true. Do you see yourself going into motivational speaking?
I will do in the future. Yeah. Still got a lot to learn. This is part of my journey. I've got different plans and different ambitions on how to do. But definitely, I was going to do that in LA. I was going to start going to universities and stuff. Probably need to polish up my accent. Still get a wee bit nervous, speak a wee bit fast, swear a lot. That's lack of vocabulary, I think. I just don't think. So? Yeah. I was never a good listener at school. I was always a daydreamer. Looking out the window, just daydreaming. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing at school. You use the left side part of your brain, which is your crunching numbers, your memorisation. your right side's your creativity and your individuality, which I think we forgot about that now because nobody wants to be an individual. We're scared to be ourselves, dress ourselves, talk ourselves because we think, what do they think? What does she think? But fuck what anybody thinks, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Nobody's going to agree what you do. For me, is if I was to tell people my visions and ideas, they've already spoke me out my ideas or visions because they're reflecting their fears onto me because they don't understand the journey. So it's about doing what's right for you and creating what you want. Do you know what I mean? Everything in real life we've attracted, whether it's me sitting here, you sitting here, we've thought it up. Everything that's created in this universe has started off with a thought, whether it's cameras, aeroplanes, cars, this couch. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's thought about it. And if somebody says 100 years ago, wherever an aeroplane came out, that I'm going to make an aeroplane, people would have laughed and thought they were crazy, but they done it. Do you know what I mean? They done it, these steps to get their end goal, their end product. I think Edison was 3,000 times or 10,000 times to make the light bulb. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine he stopped after 2-3 times what the average person does? You're set off for failure. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to see the full staircase, but if you can take the first step to hit your goal, you're in the right direction. It's 99% of success is failure in my eyes.
Totally.
It's fail until you succeed.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, Edison actually, because Edison I think said he didn't fail like whatever it was 3,000 times. It was just a 3,000 step process.
Yeah.
Such a great way of looking at it, you know.
Because it says 3,000 times, but now we're saying it's 10,000. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's trial and error.
Yeah.
You can never fail. The only person that can fail is you. Because what happens is we concentrate on the finishing line too much. And then when we get there, we've created another one. We're not enjoying the journey, which the power of now will come into play, which is trying to stay in the present moment. For people, we stay in the past too much, which is fear, guilt, depression, anger, anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I read it, there's a guy called Joe Dispenza, who's about the brain, the mindset. 95% of your day is controlled by your subconscious. So we'll get up, brush our teeth the same, probably have breakfast, drive to work, same routine, brush our teeth. But it's that 5% where you can create the change. It takes 21 days to break a habit, 21 days to create a new one. So for you to do something new every day, neurons in the brain which fire together, wire together. So if you do something new for 21 days, then the subconscious mind starts repeating that. So if you're a negative bastard and you keep thinking about shit or eating shit, I want to go on a diet, I want to change this, you'll do it for 3-4 days, but then the subconscious will just click into play again. You'll go over it and over it and over it. That's why in the morning, if you could have your goals set out, plan your day the night before, and then if you can create that for 21 days, then that'll be on repeat. Whether it's go to the gym, people say, oh, I'll go to the gym for 2-3 weeks and I feel amazing. Because the subconscious mind starts repeating that, it just becomes natural. It becomes natural. So for me, I know I'm lazy, so I need to break that mold, 4:30, and then it just becomes more natural, and then I'll get more done. So, because what happens is if we think about the past, the traumas, whatever trauma we've had in our life, if we've all had, the brain releases that chemical. So if I was to think about the traumas I had in my life, the brain releases the chemical to the emotion I felt that day. So the brain doesn't know if it's happening in the present moment or back in the past. So that's where the poison will kick in and then we feel like shit. But you can break the mold, you can change your mindset. It's a very, very difficult thing to do, but people do it and it can happen.
I don't want this to come off as in any way disparaging towards other people, but how many people do you think that the things that you talk about it kind of resonates with them, or they're like, oh yeah, that's right, you know? Yeah,
no, well, it's just like I say, it's about education. It's just about becoming aware and just digging a wee bit deep and trying to understand things a wee bit more. I just wanted to know where addictions came from. I wanted to know why I was like that. I wanted to know why I was the person I was, because everybody's got goodness in them. When you're born, everybody's got goodness and greatness in them. I think it's Einstein that says that everybody's a genius. Yeah. Everybody's different.
But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then everyone will grow up thinking they're stupid.
So everybody's different. Everybody has got something in them. But from the schooling at 4 or 5 years of age, you're taught to sit at a desk, and how can you become that individual creativity? You might not want to sit at a desk. Do you know what I mean? People might have the visions or ideas, and then before you know it, you've been conditioned to just live the life that you don't want to live. Yeah. So it's about educating yourself and rewiring your brain and figuring out who you are again, which is so difficult, because to unravel all those layers, you become like an onion. Yeah. So for me, I was wrapped around in so many layers: the false, the mask, the loudness, the daftness. I forgot who I was. I didn't know who I was. So unraveling it all now, I'm starting to go, right, wait a minute, I am sensitive. I know I've got this problem. I know I've got this issue. It's not easy to admit you've got problems, But people can change, and for anybody watching or listening, you can change. You can benefit your life. I don't give a fuck how messed up you think your life is, or what age you are, or if you get air in your lungs, you've got something to give life, and you can change, and that's a fact. That's 100% truth. If you want to change, you can change. You can create it, and I'm living proof of that.
Awesome. What was the inspiration for starting your podcast then?
I watched Joe Rogan. I like a lot of Russell Brand stuff. A lot of Russell Brand stuff is a bit, his words I struggle with. He says a lot of big words, but it's good because I'll Google them and I go, all right, wait a minute, it makes sense. I don't know, I just like people who are versatile and can talk about different things. I can get bored easy, so I like to dip my toe in. I like the way these guys speak, and I believe I've come through a lot in my life where people now understand it a wee bit more, because the people who do know me in Glasgow know how much a wee bit of a rogue I was, and to see the change, it gives people other inspiration. So for me, I wanted to create the Anything Goes podcast show where people can come in, different guests, different people from all walks of life, and I think, yeah, people can relate to it. Like I say, it's right out in your face there. There's no fucking about. It's straight to the point. I like to call a spade a spade. There's no, it's no scripted or let's come in, let's chat, and let's see your problems. Let's talk about your life. Let's talk about your goals. And like I say, it's all over the place, but I like that way. You know what I mean? I do. I like that.
Bit of chaos.
Yeah, I like chaos. I'm used to it. If I'm honest, that's where I'm comfortable. Is the madness and the chaos. I do feel comfortable. That's where I feel alive.
Yeah.
I feel alive, not knowing what the fuck's going to happen or get says. I feel it keeps me on my toes. But like I say, we've had porn stars in, we've had footballers, we've had comedians, politicians, people's been in prison. It's good, man, and people can relate to something. It's in it, whether you're a criminal or lover of porn. You can get something from it, do you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people talk about suicides, and the majority of the guests that come in, what I'm good at is making people present their best self to me. People can relax, people forget the cameras are there. So people can, then they become open. If I talk about my problems, go, wait a minute, he's got fucking problems, wait, I've got problems. So you start competing against each other to tell each other who's got the most problems. The thing about life, man, we've all got problems. Don't ever look at anybody and think, he looks as if he's got a great life, because nobody knows everything's internal. The external stuff doesn't mean fuck all. The big car or the house or the jewellery, trust me, it doesn't mean anything. So for anybody watching, don't look at somebody and think, I wish I had their life, because you don't know what's going on inside. Because it sounds so cheesy and that, but everything's within. Love is within, and that's a place I'm trying to get to, is to love yourself. Because sometimes, I dyed my hair last week.
Seriously?
I dyed my hair last week, and I was thinking, why did I do that? But that's still a wee bit of ego for me. I'm trying to, because I'm looking at myself and thinking, oh, I could do this, but then I'm like, why am I doing that? I questioned it after that. But like I say, I done it, and aye.
What was your original motivation for doing it then?
I don't know, a wee bit of ego for me, still. So I'm still trying to think I'm 24, 25, hang on to my youth. The grey hairs were coming in thick fast, and I was just trying to hang on to my youth. It's not a bad thing, but for me to promote love is within and all that shit, and then I just feel a bit, I shouldn't have done that. But,
a bit dirty.
Yeah, but listen, I'm human.
It's true. It's true. Your podcast does get a lot of engagement. Why do you think that is?
It's honest. There's no fucking about. The Glasgow crowd are a tough crowd. Do you know what I mean? And they'll see through bullshit. They see right through it. So for me, it's as honest as I can be. Like, I'm not a saint. I still tell lies, but I'm honest with myself. I can be, because if I can't be honest with myself, I can't be honest with anybody else. So the good thing is that people respect the honesty, because the majority of people, we are struggling. We're in pain. We don't know what happiness is anymore. So when you can show them a wee bit of light, then people can engage onto that. Right, wait a minute, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Listen to the mindset, listen to these breathing techniques, listen to the guests that have changed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've all got different paths, and people can relate to it, I believe. Well, they're starting to relate to it more now, because the bigger your profile becomes, the more people who take notes, and then they start listening, because then they can see the change.
Yeah.
They can see, all right, fuck man, he has changed, which is a good thing, and it makes me feel proud, because the amount of people who are maybe on drink or drugs or suicidal I get every night is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the people who've come on the show, or the woman Anne Rowan in, she lost her son to suicide. So what happens is, trauma's happening in your life. and lay in her bed for a while, she probably suicided herself, because you start blaming yourself. Was it me? Was it this, that? So it can go over, your mind can go overboard, and she never let it defeat her. So what Anne did was set up a 24-hour suicide centre. Now she saved thousands of lives, where people can phone up and speak, not just for people who are suicidal, but for people who've lost someone to suicide. These places do like a thing called havening, which is amazing. Reiki, just someone to speak to. And she used that to her advantage, her son's death, and now, like I say, you can either make it destroy you, or you can make it kick on in life and do something more important. And she's prime example that she never let her trauma affect her. Now she's doing massive things. A place called Chrissy's House, man. People phone up, like I said, some of these doctors close at 5 o'clock. Suicide's always going to be there if you've got those thoughts.
Yeah.
They're 24/7. Amazing people. Met them loads of times. I've got an event actually this week for it, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, it's good because people watch that and they realise that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Because our mind goes overboard. We're all fucked. Basically, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
It's trying to find the balance, what makes you feel good, and it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's okay to have problems. It's okay to look at somebody and wish that, but you've got to understand, how's it making you feel? Do you know what I mean? It's okay to ask for help, because 75% of suicide are male, because for the area I'm from is a tough area. So listen, everywhere's a tough area probably, but if you're from those scheme areas, if you're fighting or you're crying, it's toughen up, man up. Real men don't cry, so before you know it, time you hit 30 or 40, you don't know how to handle feelings and emotions, so you just want to end it. And it's scary to think, being suicidal, I've probably had the thoughts, but I've never had the balls to actually follow through with it. But for people to sit there and think nobody cares, or it must be scary, because the only thing with suicide, you're not really, if you take your life, you're not really taking your problems away. What you're doing is just passing it on to somebody else, whether it's a loved one or something like that. And it's scary to think that people are alone. They're not alone. There's plenty of places out there offering help. So when Anne lost her son, it was over 1,000 people at his funeral. Just didn't feel as if it was good enough, or it's easy to think you're taking your pain away because you're not worthy. But like I say, man, everybody is, and people can change their mindset. So yeah, it's good. So these are the people that are coming on the show, and they're making a massive difference. So it's good, man. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it.
That's brilliant. It really is. I mean, it's well documented that suicide's obviously the biggest killer of young men in the UK. Like, it's awful. It really is. I think sometimes people, I'll be careful what I say here.
I'll say it.
I think people kind of underestimate how traumatic the experience of life is, which might sound a bit kind of esoteric to some people, but you ultimately come into this world, you've got people around you that love you, and then you have the realization that it's all just going to, one day not be here. You're going to be dead, and everyone around you is. Like, that's a pretty serious situation to find yourself in.
But then again, that's the mindset. The mindset can play tricks on us. Everything's the brain. It's to find that balance. For me, it's all natural stuff. I became vegetarian. These breathing techniques, the exercising, it feels good for me. It gets the endorphins, which is a natural buzz. I'll go to the gym, but I'm only feeling good for a couple of hours, and then I'll drop again, and I'll go, all right, what can I do now? Because I get bored, and then I get overthinking, and the anxiety can kick in. So it's about keeping busy all the time and try to find balance in your life. I'm not saying to everybody to stop drinking, but for me, drink's a drug. It's a sociably accepted drug in the world because everybody does it. It's okay to do it, but it lowers your frequency. It makes you feel, people drink why? And I believe because it loosens them up and it makes them forget. It takes them away from their pain. It takes them away from their 9-to-5. It takes them away from their misery. But then that's 100 times worse the next day. And if you add up all the times, the months, the years that you drink, it's so much out of your life. So much, whether it's the Saturday and the Sunday and then the Monday, Tuesday, you're knackered. It becomes a massive percentage of your life gets took away because you think standing in a nightclub or standing in a pub, sitting drinking is the way forward. It's not, because you're not. How's that enhancing your life? How's that taking to where you need to be? And I'm not speaking for everybody here. There's people who can have a sociable drink, but for me, the people I speak to, it's every 2 or 3 nights people are drinking. That one glass of wine turns into 2, and then before you know it, that one night turns into 3, 4, and then before you know it, you depend on it. People come home from work and say, I need a wee glass of wine to chill out. That ain't the way you should be chilling out. Get yourself into yoga, get your breathing techniques, work on your mindset. Get your feet up, get the candles on and listen to some music, but don't drink, because what happens is it will dumb you down, it will lower your frequency, and then it'll make you feel a bit hazy the next day. So it's a slippery slope, so be careful for people who are drinking that, because it can lead up to other things, do you know what I mean?
It's good advice, for sure. What's the vision for the podcast?
To be number one in the UK,
Yeah.
I'm going right for the top, mate. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Like I say, I'm not as big a name as Russell Brand's and stuff like that, but I believe in my content, I believe in me, and I believe it's out there where it's, why not be number one? If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Do you know what I mean? Fuck it. Yeah. Like I say, I'm enjoying it, and for me, that's my ego to be number one. Do you know what I mean? I can sit there and say it's not, but that's a goal for me. And if I achieve that goal, there's always small steps for these goals, and if I achieve those goals, that's the buzz I'm getting. It's creating these small goals, and then when I hit them, I feel good, but then I need to go again. Everything's about progression. Tony Robbins will say it. You've got to keep raising the bar, because as soon as you think you've made it, you've already took 2 steps back. So I need to hit this target, I need to go again and keep raising, and if I keep doing that, then everything's limitless.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The only person that can fail is myself, so I've just got to keep moving up that ladder, the pyramid, and just keep taking the steps up to be sitting at the top. But even when you're at the top, you're never really there, because there's always somebody better or whatever, but success leaves clues. I look at all these other people who are doing well and I go, right, wait a minute, what is it they're doing differently? You try and copy a wee bit, but you still got to put your own spin to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so, shoot for the top. Why not?
Quite right. Homeless at Christmas.
Yes.
How did that first come together?
Homeless at Christmas was, I was down in London for a business meeting, speaking to a homeless man. I've always gave homeless people my time of day and always did my wee bit and a wee sandwich here, but for me it's not enough. So I was speaking to a homeless man in London. He served his country for 18 years. His wife committed suicide. The kids blamed him because he was away working all the time. Guy had to drink. He was on the street for 6 years. So, I don't know, it just melted my heart. Both of us were crying at that time, actually. I think it was like the 14th of December, and I phoned my friend Gordon. And I says, look man, I need to meet you, I've got an idea. And he says, okay, and I met him at Costa. And I says, look, I've got an idea. I'm going to go homeless for 7 days, and I'm going to do it through Christmas, from 19th of December to 26th. And he says, yeah man, he backed us, Gordon Campbell, great guy, backed me. And I never had that much time to think about it. If I probably had more time, I'd have probably spoke myself out it. But the plan was to go homeless for 7 days, no phone, no money, nothing basically, just the clothes I had in my bag, a sleeping bag and my rucksack and my camera. Told my family and friends I was going on a 7-day fitness retreat, but I wasn't allowed my phone, so I didn't want anybody worrying. I certainly didn't want a pat on the back, but what I knew I was doing was massive, and I knew it would have been, I'd have got a lot of respect for it. So like I say, everything I do is for me, but no matter what way you look at it, I'm still creating massive awareness. It was also helping me become a better person, because I can speak all this positive shit, but it is only words. It don't fucking mean anything, it is words. Actions speak louder than words, and for me to do the 7 days at Christmas, the sleeping in the streets was fine. I like roughness, it doesn't bother me. It was the stories I was hearing. One of the girls got raped twice in a day, people were setting them on fire, peeing on them, stabbing them. It broke my heart. I'm not a psychologist, but the footage that we got, it's only been released over a week, and we've had over 3,000 messages with people coming forward to help a hand and realise, because a documentary doesn't make you look at homeless people differently, it makes you question your own life, because so many is living luxury and we love to moan and complain about the stupidest things. So for me, I'm proud of it, and I don't know why I did it, like I say, but it just needed to be done. I just think, I put weight on, the 7 days I was homeless, I put weight on with all the food I was getting offered. Because I was at the soup kitchens every day, Christmas dinners. There's so much generosity, like I say, there is a lot of goodness in the world, but a lot of people are blinded by life, and everybody's got their own problems, and we can't just save the world, do you know what I mean? But just showing somebody that you care, 2 minutes of your time, just because there's a lot of beggars on the street who aren't homeless as well, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying save everybody, but there's a lot of people who are con artists, there's a lot of professional beggars, but for me I was sleeping in the streets with the people who were homeless, who have kind of gave up in life, and that's low self-esteem, that's low confidence, that's not just a case of rehoming someone, because you can't just rehome someone that's got addiction problems. I know people out there with 2 jobs that can't keep a house. So for you to rehome someone, they'd lose the house anyway. So it's come up with a new system. I'm trying to come up with a new system, which is a 12-week programme. While within this 12-week programme, we've got drink programmes, drug programmes, mental health programmes. We've got psychologists in. I've got veterinarians in. I've got yoga teachers. I've got motivational speakers. I've got comedians. This system's a 12-week programme. It's so off the cuff, but something needs to change.
Yeah.
Something needs to change, and there's so much red tape around it, but I've got to roll the dice. We've got to try these things, and like I say, I've got different visions from everybody else. And like I say, there's so much charities out there who give food and blankets and food, but for me, I need to change the mindset, and I can't force change upon people. People want to change, but when I speak to these people and you give them 2 minutes of your time, they want to change. I need to set up a place. This system I'm trying to set up, I believe it's not just going to work in Glasgow, but I believe worldwide.
Jeez.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're homeless doesn't mean you're dead. You still got a personality. There's people in my full of laughs and jokes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just kind of lost your way, and it's easy done. And this is the scary part of society now. It can happen to anybody. They say you're only 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. If you lose a loved one, or you lose your job, lose your kid, you can go home. You can end up sleeping on the street. It can happen to anybody. So this documentary awakens people, and that's why it's been so powerful, because people can relate. People can go, wait a minute, we're all human beings. In my eyes, we're all connected. We're all as one. And if you're helping somebody else, I'm doing all this stuff, try to help others, but like I say, I'm winning. I feel good, it's rewarding me, and that's the no matter what way you look at it, I'm winning. I feel good. Do you know what I mean? It's a selfish way, but it's selfish in a way. It is and it isn't. Do you know what I mean? I'm still creating good, but like I say, it's me. It's rewarding.
Whose responsibility do you think it is to help try and fix the homeless situation?
Human beings. There's 7 billion. There's over 7 billion people in the world. People blame councils and the governments. Stop pointing fingers. Take fucking responsibility. If you want change, become the change yourself. If one person, me and my 2 guys, can create massive awareness and create thousands of people to create help after a week, then what would it be like if we had 1,000 or 10,000? Stop pointing fingers, man. There's so many people live in council estates from the government, stay in these houses. It's not the government's problem that the mindsets went to some people that they've accepted that life. Do you know what I mean? But human beings, it's just 2 minutes of your time. Just forget what's important. That's a human being sitting there. That's somebody's son or daughter, somebody's friend, somebody's mum or dad. Do you know what I mean? It's just, you think all the people that walk by in the city centre every day, there's tens of thousands. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, it's just to make the moves myself and create these things. It's trial and error. The thing I've got with the 12-week programme, I know it'll work. But like I say, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I want to get doctors in as well, people to give it a couple of hours at a time. Every month, I believe a lot of people want to help out. I believe with this new vision and new idea that people will come forward to help out. And I know it'll work. I know it'll work. If I keep educating myself on the mindset and how to create the change in the mind. There was a man in my documentary who was 32 years on heroin, changed his life. Guy Charlie changed his life, and now he's doing amazing things. Now he's helping other people change their life. People can change. That's the beauty of life. These mistakes make us who we are today. And all the fuck-ups I've done, man, I'm proud of it. I've still got a conscience, and I'm sorry for everybody I've fucking done wrong, but I've still got to be proud of it. I can't live there and go with the regret, because then I feel like shit, and then I can't do all these big things that I'm doing. So I just got to accept it, move on. Now it's all about the present moment and creating the future that I want.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, kind of on that topic, and we're going to go a bit deeper into the sort of philosophical stuff just now, but what do you kind of think is like your purpose in life?
Helping people.
Yeah.
First of all, you've got to help yourself, which is the main thing. There's so many people helping everybody else, but I believe if you're trying to save everybody else, it's really you that needs saving. Do you know what I mean? I just believe I'm getting in a good place mentally where I'm all feeling good. And all the materialistic stuff, I've said it before, listen, I'm a big poser. The hair and the tan, and it is all bullshit. When I'm helping somebody, that's when I really feel at one. That's when I feel alive here, because I walk away feeling I've done something good. I've done something good here. Do you know what I mean? So that I feel good, and that's what we should be craving. Helping people. Like I say, I don't know what's right or wrong for anybody, but for me, these are the results that I'm getting, and because I'm not helping other people, I'm creating awareness, and this is only the start. I've already done that documentary, but that doesn't mean what. So what, basically? So what do I do now? I've got to keep going, keep raising the bar, and keep trying to get the help that's needed to create the change. I believe I can change the world, man.
Jesus.
People used to laugh, but they're not fucking laughing now, I'm telling you. Do you know what I mean? This is a guy from fuck all. Do you know what I mean? And I've got to keep going, but I've got to stay in this path. Like I say, I can rip the whole ceiling down in a heartbeat. Yeah. So I've got to stay focused. If I've not got any dreams or ambitions, then my mind can go wandering.
What's your sort of 5-year plan?
For my life?
Well, yeah, at the moment, like what's your kind of vision for where you're going?
Yeah, just keep doing what I'm doing. Become a better dad.
Okay.
Still got some anger issues as well. Become only person I'm competing with is myself. Still get frustrated. Still can get lazy. Take control of my life more as well. Utilise my hours. Work on my podcast. Create another couple of documentaries.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in this game forever. Do you know what I mean? Because the life I'm in, even the limelight as well and the social media stuff is fake. It's false for me. I want to kind of get out of that in maybe 6 years and no disconnect, but just come away from it. It doesn't seem natural. But right now I need it to create the platform to create the mass changes. Do you know what I mean? But there's going to be 6 years, I believe, I'll do all this and then I'll come away from it and just...
Really?
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing beyond that?
Help people, but not as front, not as full on as the face. Yeah. Maybe the background work. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And creating up this, like I say, this vision to create massive change. Like I say, change the world and change the mindset. There's things in place in Canada doing just now. The homelessness figures have dropped massively. Success leaves clues, so why are we not copying these people?
Yeah.
So I just need to, like I say, keep working on me, becoming a better person every day. Because I've still got a lot of faults and flaws that I go, I shouldn't fucking do that, man. I need to change that.
Okay.
So it's just become a better version of myself. I don't know what's 5 years round the corner. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Do you know what I mean? I could be lying in a boozers, full of coke and fucking lying in a big puddle of piss. I just don't know. Inspired Edinburgh just sent me down a slippery slope. Cheers, big man. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know. It's just to be a better version of myself. Yeah. Keep improving on me. I'd like to get in really good shape again.
Yeah.
Because listen, yeah, fitness doesn't define you as a person, but mentally I feel good about myself. Do you know what I mean? And the money doesn't define you as a person, but I feel good about me if I'm doing the right things, because like I say, I become lazy. I can sit in with my crisps and my chocolate at night and I get, that's my comfort zone, but it happens every night. Do you know what I mean? And then I feel like a fraud, because if I'm promoting all this positivity, how can I do that if I need to lead by example? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I need to take the reins and become this blueprint that I've got in my mind who I want to be. And it's no easy. It's no easy, but I'm doing it. I'm still doing it, but I'm aware of all these wee things that I go, fuck's sake, should I be sitting in my bed eating a big packet of McCoys when I should be running or something? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So I kind of kick myself because this is just conditioning for so long, mate. Yeah. My dad used to we used to go out at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, used to go to the petrol station, and it was like bars of chocolate, used to get the paper, and I've still got that conditioning in me. Like I'll go to the shop at 10 o'clock and I'm eating a packet of crisps, but I know I'm doing it, and I'm like eating myself as if I've done something wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's not the worst thing, but it's not taking me towards the person I want to become. Yeah. So it's slippery.
Yeah. What would you like your legacy to be, James?
A good guy, a guy who's changed, a guy who's done massive things. I want people to be proud of me. Do you know what I mean? I want people to go, yeah, he did well, that man. He did well from what he came from and how he did. And I want to lead, like I say, I want to be at the forefront now and lead by example and show people that can change. I want to create massive changes. I'm not in it for baby steps. I'm in it to change the world, man. I'm in it to change and make moves and create massive changes in people's mindsets. And like I say, everything's baby steps, but these baby steps are becoming serious strides now, and people are starting to sit up and take notice of what I'm saying and doing, which is good, man. It's good. Like I say, I'm proud sometimes because I'm living this. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel, it just, every day feels the same. Do you know what I mean? In this picture in your head, you think, when I get this far and that far, that's it. That's what I've achieved. That I've done it. But when you get it, exactly. I still feel the fucking same, man. I'm still eating my McCoys and fucking sitting in the house thinking shit. It doesn't, nothing changes. Do you know what I mean? And that's the tricky thing in life, because what happens is, for a couple or whatever, they'll say, right, I'm going to get married, I'll get a house, but when they get it, they're still fucking miserable. you know what I mean? Nothing changes because, listen, I'm not saying for anybody don't get married, but for me, when you do that, you've got these goals in your mind when I'm going to get the house, the baby, the marriage, but when you get that, you go, is this it? You've got a 25-year mortgage, you can't really, you've got a guy there and a woman, you probably can't be fucking sicky anymore, but you're in it the long haul because you've signed up for it. Do you know what I mean? But is that, we've just conditioned to think that's the way forward, that's the final piece of the jigsaw, but it's not, because when we become a couple, there's so many happy couples out there, but when you become a couple or whatever, this is a guy that's never had a serious relationship, but do you know what I mean? So it's hard for me to judge, but when you become a married couple, then you kind of stop working on you. You kind of forget who the fuck you are. You kind of become settled and in a routine, and that's where probably frustration, the anger kicks in maybe 5 year, 10 year down the line, because we stop working as human beings. For me personally, I want to meet somebody who's going to push me and see my visions and vice versa, to help build these dreams and ambitions instead of just getting the house and I've got 2 kids, but another couple of kids and settling, because you can come into bad habits, and I don't want that. I don't want to just settle. I kind of want to get everything in place and take over the world, man. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe I'm just scared of commitment as well. So I've just jumped over the gun here, but
that's fine, man.
It's probably just a wee bit scared of commitment. But for me, I just don't want to just settle. I don't want to just settle for that final piece of the jigsaw that I need this diamond. The girl needs a diamond ring in her finger, or do you know what I mean? Because a wedding now just looks like a big party. Do you know what I mean? Where's the love in that? Because they say the day of the ring, the most chance the divorce. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult to look at that as well.
Well,
I don't even know what the question was there.
No,
I just totally jumped
fine.
all the place. That's what I do.
I think it's often the whole expectation versus reality thing. You know, you think that because you're getting married, everything's going to change, but it won't. That won't always necessarily be the case.
Yeah, that's what it was at. Because, like I say, when you get these things, nothing changes. I still feel, fuck me, where's my McCoys? You know what I mean? I need my comfort, because people keep telling me how good I'm doing, and I kind of know it in my mind I am, but I still feel the same. Ain't nothing's changed. Do you know what I mean? It's fuck all changed. Which is scary to think that I keep doing these things, and that's where I need to keep creating more goals, because if those goals go, my flame will go out, and then that's when I'm scared that the bad habits kick in again. So it's a very thin line, it's thin ice. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to keep going. If I stop, then I'm running that boozers. I'll be champing your door at 5 a.m, mate, for an after party. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus. So let's just totally hypothetically, let's pretend for a moment that your podcast is #1 in the UK. How do you feel?
The same. That's what I'm saying. It's not really, it doesn't mean shit. What does it mean? Do you know what I mean? It just, for me, it's like setting a goal
it's
and hitting that target, but then after that 24, 40 hours, that goes. And that's where I think a lot of the celebrities are fucked up, football players, because when they've craving all this attention, when that goes, their life doesn't, as if, am I not that, my life not worthy anymore? Because we're craving that attention, it's self-seeking. So if you're a singer in all these bands or whatever it is, if you're craving all that attention, if that attention starts to go, you think your career starts to go, you don't feel as worthy, that nobody cares anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's crazy. Like I say, all these benchmarks, when you get it, it goes, the buzz goes. The documentary was released last week, the buzz was there for 2 days because of the hype, but then that goes. And then, so, do you know what I mean? So that's when you need to keep creating the progression and what do I do next? So it's, like I say, it's scary, man. It's fucking scary. Life, it's not supposed to be easy, but it can be, it's tough.
It is. How do you define success?
For the inner being of me, is creating good things that I know I'm proud of. Do you know what I mean? Because what is success? What is the fame? What is these benchmarks that you're setting? What does it mean? It is irrelevant, because everything's within. But if I know I'm setting these small goals, if I know I'm making changes, if I'm changing people's lives, that's a success for me. That's me. Oh wait, I'm leaving them up. I just don't want to change 1 or 2 lives. I want to change billions of lives. Do you know what I mean? I want to change a massive shift, and I believe the shift is coming. Do you know what I mean? The like attracts like, and the people I'm attracting into my life they've got vision, and they're fucking just as crazy as me. Listen, we're all crazy, but these people, they're they understand it a wee bit. Even though I talk, people go, he's fucking nuts. Deep inside, they'll understand. They'll still feel it in their core that, wait a minute, you're actually talking sense here. Do you know what I mean? So for me, the success is within for helping people and creating change. I mean, I've said it again, but when I'm doing all this, it's me it rewards from it. It's me it feels good. And like I say, I'm not, people say if you change one life, you've done good. I'm changing billions. I'm not changing. I don't know how it's going to be done. I just know if I keep doing what I'm doing, people are awakening. And there's a lot of people awakened out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people awakened, but it's hard for me, a guy from where I'm from, can you imagine speaking like this in a pub? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I
know.
get fucking shot, or so you go, like, you're a fucking nutcase. People, my pals who I grew up with, when I started changing, they thought it was worse when I was changed than the guy who was crazy, who was at parties with the clothes off and dancing. They think I'm worse. No now, because they see what I'm doing. And listen, it's hard for people to see me change as well, because even the people who I was close to, they become, not envious, but they always don't think that he's never going to change. They can't see why I can change because they can't change, so they always think that's a mask, or he's kidding on, or they wait for me to fall flat in my face again. Because what happens is if you start doing something in your life and you start doing good, then people start getting annoyed with themselves because they start questioning, why can't I change? If he can do it, why can't I? And then the frustration comes in, so the friends who say you are friends become your enemies as well. Because even though I'm doing good, there's people will support me, but there'll also be a lot of people there waiting for me to hit that hurdle. So which is one of the bad things about it, try to do good. Because everybody's got different opinions of everybody. My mum's got a different opinion of me. Maybe the ex-girlfriend who I've cheated on, he's a bastard, him. But everybody's got different opinions. But it's hard for people to change their views on you when you're trying to change. Do you know what I mean? So I can't focus on anybody else. I need to do what's right for me.
Absolutely.
And move forward with that. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oof. That's a good question, that.
You're going to incorporate that into the podcast, are you?
I might, aye. Aye, thank you. I knew there'd be something positive coming at this today. I knew you were good for something, Elliot. What is the best advice I've ever been given? That's a good question. Not really thought about that, actually. Not really been given good advice before.
Yeah, clearly.
No. All my advice, everything I've really educated myself with is probably through podcasts or through audio books. The thing that changed my life was The Power of Now, the book The Power of Now. Yeah. He was the one that, it was an ex-girlfriend that gave me that book. So I was going through the change. It sat in my company for 2 years, and then I got the earphones in, and that's the thing just before I turned 30 is the transformation was The Power of Now.
Yeah.
I listened to it a couple of times, but he's a boring bastard, man. He's like wee ding, and he talks to it. I'm like, so chapter 1, it took us about a year and a half to listen to it, but I kept falling asleep. But that was the thing. That was the thing that the stuff and that made sense. Was about the present moment, which is so difficult to live in the present moment, especially surrounded by everything. Unless you're a monk, you're never going to have that sense of bliss. You're never going to have that sense of peace and harmony because we're caught up in this fast world. But The Power of Now was massive for me. The Power of Now, and I read Outwitting the Devil, a lot of Louise Hay stuff, Abraham Hicks.
Yeah, brilliant.
I liked Tony Robbins, and that was great at the start for me. Les Brown, but I kind of went, they got deeper and deeper. Louise Hay, Abraham Hicks as well, great stuff. About the vortex and see all these motivational speakers, they speak the same. It's just different words. It's all the same path, where it's the law of attraction, the power of now. It's all kind of the same shit. Yeah. Just different voices and different words. They kind of spin it around. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
But the power of now was I wouldn't, because I've never had anybody give me advice and I would go, oh, that's changed my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, the power of now was the turning point for me. Thanks, Ek.
Nice.
Eckhart.
Get him on the podcast.
Put me to sleep. I want criminals and porn stars. You know what I mean? Old Edinburgh. It took me about a year and a half. Nah, that's exaggeration. But at chapter 1, I was out again.
Yeah.
It's just the voice.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's just so calm or pleasant or I was like, because the first few chapters in that book are difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy. But then it just made sense to me. It made sense. And then that was the turning point, was that listening to that audiobook.
Awesome.
I had it, can't.
If you had the opportunity to speak to your 20-year-old self, what would you say?
Stop fucking up, man. Get your grip with yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's one of the biggest regrets in my life, was never listening to my dad. Everything he ever says was true. Just about the circles I kept, and because my dad lived that life. Well, not lived that life, but he was a jacky lad, and he knew, he could see. He seen everything before I seen it. I was just naive and I had the blinkers on. So for me it would be listen. I never listened to anybody. I thought I knew everything. And I still think that, but I do now. Listen, because I speak a lot, but listening is probably more important than speaking. Because if I listen, then I'm learning something that I don't know. If I'm speaking all the time, I'm speaking the same shit that I'm speaking. Do you know what I mean? So listening is the key element for me now, to sit and listen. And that's what I've worked on in my podcast, is to listen to people and actually what they're saying. Because at the start I was, if they start speaking, my next question's already, I'm not listening to a fucking word they're saying, but I'm ready to just throw in that question. So I'll throw in a question and it doesn't make any sense of what they've said. I'm just ready to go, right? Hurry up and finish so I can jump in. So for me it's to listen. Is a key element for me to kick on in my life. Is if I was to list 20, if I was 20s, and it'd be listen, James, because people did try to help me, and they say you're fucking up, but I never listened. But I must have eventually, it must have all come into play, because I've got a lot of good people around me. But that was the only thing. My dad, I never listened to him. He knew, so I'm always proud.
I can 100% relate to what you're saying about the podcast. That gets easier.
Good, I hope so.
Yeah, it does.
I hope so.
Definitely.
Because I'm waiting, I've got the question, right, hurry up and fucking finish what you're saying so I can throw that question at you. And it doesn't even make any sense what they've just finished.
Yeah.
I just have that question.
Yeah.
So that's just, listening is a key. Listening is just, if not more important than speaking, because we're learning something new. Do you know what I mean? Everybody knows something that we don't. You'll know stuff that I don't, I know stuff that you don't. And that's the key, because that's me trying to preach again and try to throw everything that I know on people because it works for me. It might not work for me. Do you know what I mean? So the key for me is listening. I'd tell myself to listen. And I'd definitely listen.
Yeah. Yes, I can't remember who said it, but I suppose it's the sort of belief that you can learn something from everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something that you can learn from. That's
I think
a really good
who says that. I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I think I've heard a few people saying it.
Last question. Big question.
Yes, give me it.
If you could change anything in the world, what would it be and why?
What would I change? I don't know. I would take away the money, I think. I think money's the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is, that's greed and power. If I could change anything, I know it might sound crazy to people, but money's only been here for a few thousand years. Humans, planet's been here for, I don't know how many humans, a couple 100,000 years, some say millions, but the planet's been here for billions of years. Money's an illusion. We crave it, we feel as if we need it, but that is only paper. And greed poisons men's soul, and it's greed that unbalances the world. So if I could change anything, I'd take away the money, because I feel as if it was love, compassion and honesty, the world would be a great place. The world would be an amazing place. Can you imagine 7.5 billion people loving each other and being happy? And why can't it happen? Because money controls it. Money controls everything at greed, and everything we need to do in life is for money. At the end of the day, everything we do is end product is for money, which is scary. And
well, it has to be. That's the way the world is sadly
how
being
it
set
evolves.
up.
And it is only paper, and for you to look at that and crave it, then it's crazy in my eyes. And listen, I'm sitting here with a suit on, and we need it to survive. Do you know what I mean? But we don't need it also, and it's the way the world. And I think the world's just a wee bit upside down, and it can be tricky. And for people watching or listening, I know it might sound crazy, but for me personally, money's it's the root of all evil, and it's creating mass destruction, because everything that's created through wars is through greed, through the money, where it's the banking system, whether it's poppy fields, whether it's the guns or whatever wars are created, it's whatever behind that is created through the evil of men try to take control and the powers of the world, which is scary. So yeah, for me, if I could change anything, I'd change money situation. I'd make it dissolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do. Well, on that basis, I do have one other kind of two-pronged question, I think. What would you replace money with? But this is kind of diverging, but hopefully it'll come to the same thing. If you were to recreate the way that we live on Earth, or take everyone from Earth and put them on a different planet, what would it look like? How would it operate? What would be the means for exchange and bartering?
Yeah, just honesty, speaking, helping each other. You wouldn't need to exchange anything. Do you know what I mean? If people needed a hand with anything, then you would help. You would give a helping hand. Everything would be natural for me. The animals would be here, the planet would be here, all the trees, everything would be here, no pollution. We could have cars running in water. Do you know what I mean? Again, money, poison men's soul. Everything is created, the world revolves around money. So for me, I'd have a world with love and compassion and honesty and individuality. Be who you want to be, try not to judge. Do you know what I mean? You've got to remember, if you put a black kid, the white kid, Chinese kid, even a fucking purple kid together at birth, those kids are going to get on. They don't know religion. They don't know anything. For me, religion's to divide the world. For me,
absolutely, yeah.
They don't know none the wiser. So if you're conditioned, as soon as you're born, you're labelled, you're given a name, you're given a religion, you're given a football team to support. Listen, I'm not against anything, but for me personally, borders, religions is to divide the world. Why should we be putting borders anywhere? Because skin colours, because of languages. Who says? Do you know what I mean? There should be one world, and that's one planet, and it's Earth, one country, Earth. In my eyes, do you know what I mean? There's 7.5 billion people. Why are we not under it? We're all under the same roof.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We're all
divided, aye, because it's greed, trying to power everywhere. I think United Kingdom, I think they've basically ransacked nearly every country except about 22, 23, but yet we're going about immigrants. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's human. Same as the Native Americans in America, and I'm totally going off track here, but I think there's like millions and millions of these people were murdered. They were in America first. Do you know what I mean? It was just, we're controlled with power and greed, and there's only a small majority of people controlling this world, and it's crazy to think, but the power of the people is so strong, and the people can waken up and realise we can have a good world, we can have a good, I might never see it in my life, but the world, there is a lot of goodness goes on in the world, but if you can create that ripple effect and create the changes and the stuff that we're talking about, other people, maybe somebody will see it 10, 20 years down the line, and it'll make them want to change, and maybe they can jump on that. And you look at all these people who stand up for people, your Malcolm X's, your John Lennons, and massive people who stood up and stood out the circle and try to awaken people. All right, they might have got took out the cards, but it's just good to like I say, just keep educating, keep learning. For me, I'd have a one world, just want no countries, no bullshit, no fences, no nothing like that. Just have it. That's just me, but like I say, I've got a different path. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, people should stop watching the news and start watching the James English
just
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to get 7.5 billion in it. I'm actually a fraud. This is all bullshit. I just want to get everybody to watch my podcast. Know what I mean? And give me sponsor money. So I'm a fucking fraud. You know what I mean? We can preach all this shit, but we're still in the circle, in the bubble ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to survive, do you know what I mean?
I know.
It's crazy. But like I say, I don't want to contradict myself either.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'd love that. Everybody be happy. And, do you know what I mean? Because I see a lot of people, if you say hello to somebody on the train or whatever, walking the street, I think you're a fucking madman. Everybody's on their phones and do you know what I mean? It's so crazy. It's so crazy, but listen, each to their own. You know what I mean? Pub now.
James, I've had a brilliant time with you.
Cheers, mate. Listen, thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Cheers.
You're absolutely somebody that kind of raises the vibration of the people that you're around, which I think is absolutely
Appreciate
awesome.
That.
So, it's been a pleasure,
Listen,
honestly.
Thanks for having me on.
It's great to meet you, man.
Pleasure,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.